What up, bosses? MBR bringing you a short little video today looking at the characters that you can currently play in Paragon. A couple of you guys were asked if I could give you my thoughts on the characters, show you who's about. If you haven't had the chance to play the game, see too much, we'll quickly go over it. So at the moment there is 13 characters available to play. Fill in a couple of roles. You have your support, you have your sort of damage dealers like the AD carry, you have your sort of AP casters, and then you also have your tank and junglers. So starting off, we have Beng Mao, who's badass. You can see him smoking on your pipe. Really cool. I hope this is actually kept. Games like Heroes of the Storm, I know Titus used to have a cigarette he was smoking. That got removed. I think in the China or Korea, I can't remember which one. If he's smoking that, the game has to be rated like 18 or something. Same with League of Legends. Graves, they removed his cigarette, I guess, to make it more child friendly. There's a big audience there if they can push it out to the young people, I guess. So he's smoking on his pipe, really cool. When he recalls, he has a really cool animation. There's some gameplay up on the channel of him, so if you haven't seen too much, check him out. Really badass. His prime role is really a jungler. You can play him in lane. Really cool. You build him attack damage, and you basically the idea is his abilities, which you guys can read through at your own pace. The website is www.epicgames.com/Paragon. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check out more about the game in detail if you wish to do so. But he has a blink, so you can blink on top of your enemy. You then have it as slow. Along with that, you have a shield, so you can soak up some damage. And his ultimate Earth Shatter basically does make the Earth Shatter. It's a very small range. You're generally only going to hit one target, but if you get on a squishy, you blink in there, slow them, jump on with your ultimate, you're pretty much guaranteed a kill. Like I said, there's some gameplay up on my channel, so if you want to check them out, then please do so. Next up, we have Miriam, who is a caster. She's more really of a support role. I haven't actually played her myself, but she's similar. She looks really kind of similar to KO, I guess you could say, if you're basing it off League of Legends. And basically, the idea of her is she's there to support you. She drops some shields down. I believe she can actually heal you in one sense. But her ultimate is global range. So wherever you are, she can teleport onto you. So she can be on the other side of the map. She flies up in the air and then boom, comes onto you a few seconds later, give you a nice shield, and potentially can make a play happen, or even save your life. One OP thing at the moment is with Mr. OP buff. So you can take the Mr. OP buff, and then say the tank can run onto the spot where you have to drop it in, and she can teleport onto him, instantly hand it in, which is something that's going to be nerfed. I think she's going to actually drop the buff instead of being able to do that, because it's kind of OP, I guess. Caster. Next up, we have Gadget the Caster. We don't really see too much of her at the moment. Like Gideon really is the favoured sort of pick over her, really. But when you do see a few gadgets, they're pretty good. The way I look at her, she's like a Gideon, really. She chucks these bombs down, which are pretty goddamn annoying. They get on you, they do some damage. Her ultimate is a massive like dome she places down, and it does a lot of damage. But the thing is, I think why Gideon's played a lot more than what she is at the moment is the fact that Gideon, his ultimate actually pulls you in, and when you're in his ultimate, you don't feel like you can get away. Whilst hers, you can run away. But if you have some synergy with a champion, I can look at, I can't think of the name off my top of the head, but say even someone like Steel jumps in there, you can make a nice combo happen there. So there's certainly potential. She has a speed gate. Seek and destroy with her little mines, and they're pretty goddamn annoying, and she does increase damage to minions, so really good at sort of wave clearing. Next up, we have Rampage. Beastie old tank. I have a feeling a nerf will be incoming for him. It's not like he puts a massive amount of damage down, but he is just hella tanky, and he looks so cool. Again, I've got some gameplay up on my channel where we did wreck with him. He, yeah, really cool. One thing me and my friend were talking about, we'd like to see some lore come out about the game. I'm not really a massive lore person, but it's kind of cool. I used to read a bit on the League, and it gives you some more feeling about the character. Like here, he's all sort of chained up, and he's actually got some chains when he's in games, so it'd be nice to know how he kind of maybe got free. Reminds me of Mr. Sharkman out the Flash. So yeah, he's pretty badass. The abilities he has, he's a little bit boring. He can play in jungle because of his passive here. He gets missing health when he's actually in the jungle, so it's pretty nice. And he has splash damage with his auto attack, so it'd be a slow jungle, but it certainly can make it work because of his sort of mobility. He has a sort of like a movement speed. One of his abilities is movement speed. He then has a pounce, which is a massive range. You can pounce onto your opponent, and has a big boulder which stuns them, and it's quite a long stun, and it's quite a big range on that as well. When he pops his ultimate, he literally just grows double in size. He's like as big as what he is there. He's a menace. He's just up in your face, does more additional damage, and he's just tanky. his leap resets and it comes like double the range, so he's pretty like he is annoying, and I imagine he's going to kind of get nerfed because he's just like unkillable already. He just gets up in your face. He does some damage, but he's just up in your face. And with this game where it's not like League where you can just click on a champion, your AD carry or auto attack them, you have to actually land your auto attacks to the skill shots. So he could just be there blocking all his skill shots. Kalari, I played her once a while ago when she actually first came out. She's the newest champion to come out, but I wasn't jungling with her, and she needs to be jungled really, so I didn't really, and I was a noob at the game at the time, and I haven't been back to her since, but my friend does really like her. She's an assassin. She can kind of go stealth. She's not permanently stealth, but when she is in stealth, you can hear her around her. It's pretty scary. There's like, I can't, it's like sort of Freddy Krueger sort of music, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But you sort of know she's around, but once she does go on to say someone like Twin Blast or Squishy Champion, she can wreck them, especially if she gets a few kills and starts snowballing. Then it's crazy. She does like a mark on you, so when you're low health, she can see you anywhere on the map if you're below 25% health. And yeah, like I say, her ultimate gets on top of you. You're pretty much dead if she's fed, and it can be quite snowbally. But at the same time, if she doesn't get those early kills, like junglers say Eve, for example, off League, then she will fall behind. Next up, we have Durka. I might be pronouncing his name wrong. Again, I still pronounce flipping League names wrong. My pronunciations are terrible. Until I hear someone say them, I know I'm never going to get it right. She is a support. I've seen a few deckers, and she is pretty... I haven't actually played her myself, but she's pretty goddamn annoying. She has this ultimate called Containment Fence, and basically she throws this down, and it traps anyone inside there, and allies can shoot through the fence, but enemies cannot. So if you're in there, if you're on the enemy team, I couldn't do any damage, whilst I could be locked in there, and it's really good if you can catch a couple squishies. And for example, like this is where I was talking about with Gadget, you put that with Gadget in there, you could have a really nice combo. She has a big stun as well with her status bomb, and it's quite a long range. It always catches me off guard. And yeah, she's a solid champion, but I just haven't got around to playing her yet at this moment in time. But definitely a useful support, and you do see quite a few of her. Next up we have Sparrow, who is a ranger, so sort of like your AD carry, I guess you're comparing it to League. I've played her once or twice, and I didn't really get on with her too much. I don't know, I just didn't really enjoy it, but I have seen a lot of good Sparrows. They do some nice damage. She has the way her passive works, every time she does an auto attack on the same champion, it stacks up and you do additional damage, which is pretty OP if you can keep onto that target. I'm not sure how much damage it actually works out to at the moment, but I think as the game develops, there'll be more stats will actually sort of become available. Everything's very sort of plain and simple, but again, it's very early access, so it's what we kind of just have to expect. She has her bow shot. Basically, she can actually channel a bow, hold it down, and it'll go through as many targets as you want, or as there is in that line. So you can shoot through the minions into the target, which is pretty nice. She has like an AoE, which chucks down a load of arrows, which is pretty effective. Really good at wave clearing, and like I say, because of her passive, she's really good at actually pushing lanes and destroying turrets. And then her ultimate, basically she starts sort of like your I can't think of the item in the League, the Hurricane, where you shoot sort of 3 auto attacks in a row. She does that, and these actually pierce through units that imply basic card effects. So pretty strong champion. Again, a nice ranger. Not really my cup of tea. Maybe once maybe I'm doing something wrong with her, but I have seen a lot of really strong Sparrows, and they can chuck some big sort of damage down. Next up, then we have Grox Smash. I'm working on getting some jungle gameplay out of him. He is more a jungle. You can actually put him in lane. He's similar to Sion. I'm not sure if Sion's new passive works the same, but the old Sion, when he used to farm with his Eon, he used to gain additional HP every time he last hit. Same with this dude. Every time he last hits, he gets 5 HP. The idea is he goes into the jungle, and then you can come out. He has a Q, which actually pulls the targets into you, and there can be as many, or the whole team could be there, and you can pull them into your team. You have a charge, you can charge in behind them and then pull them in. Your right mouse button is sort of a slice, which puts a bleed effect, and then his ultimate Warlord's challenge is he like smashes his swords together, briefly stunning them, and it just does a shitload of damage. He's one scary dude. Once he's fed, he's not someone you want to be messing around with. He is absolutely badass. So moving on, we now have where we at. We have Steel. Steel is one of my favorite champions, probably out of Feng Mao, probably my favorite at the moment. Steel, really cool dude. He's kind of classed as support here, which in some sense I can see why he is, but he's just he's like a tanky support. Basically, way he works is you have this big ass charge. Really cool what you can do if you can actually get behind your opponent. So if you say you're ganking and when you're sprinting, if you're able to run behind your opponents and charge into them, it actually knocks them into your team. So I've done it before. I've actually knocked the enemy into my turret and I've actually been able to get solo kills. He really does no damage at all. The only damage ability, or his charge does some damage, but not a great deal. The only other damage ability is his auto attacks, which really don't do much, but he's not there for that. He's there for his shield. He has this big force shield he can chuck down, which blocks enemy base attacks like Twin Blast. If he's ultimate, you can actually block that. When your allies run through it, they gain a shield, and when the enemy team runs through it, they all die. No, they get a slow on them. So it's really nice. You can it's a big range. You can chuck it down behind the enemy, slows them, and you can work with your team. And then the most OP thing is his shield slam. Is a big AoE stun. I've currently got a compilation of Paragon up on my channel. If you guys want to check that out, just some short cool plays I've made over the last week. There's some Steel gameplay you'll be able to see in there. And I've also actually got a full length Steel gameplay up where I was like 6-0 or something. Absolutely wrecked on him. Really strong champion. Like I say, he doesn't do much damage. You can actually build him to do damage. I haven't really tried it out because I just haven't got enough cards yet. It takes some time to actually build up your deck on here, but a really cool champ and one of probably my top 2 favorites at the moment. And next up is Howitzer. Didn't really like him when I first played him. Small package, big guns. That's what all the ladies say to me. But he is pretty badass. If you buy the Founders Pack, not the first one, like the Tier 2 or Tier 3 package, you do get like his limited edition skin where he's all like Hot Rod. I think it's like Hot Rod Howitzer. Pretty cool. He's like all on sort of like fire and stuff. Not actually on fire, but like fiery skin. Pretty cool. He is a pusher, a caster, does energy based damage. With the energy based damage champions, they also do auto attacks at energy based, so it's pretty interesting. Someone like Gideon, which is OP, that his auto attacks do more damage early game than what Twin Blast does at level 1, which I don't really understand, but that's how it works out. So yeah, your attacks to get based off your energy damage. Really strong pusher. He has a Q, which is really long range. You skill shot. You shoot at them, does some nice damage. Really good for clearing minions. He has a mine he chucks down, and basically this mine works the way as Zig's mine does. If you stand on it, the enemy stands, it flings in a certain direction. I've had it before where I've gone up to one, and he's defending his turret. He's chucked his mine behind me. It's actually then knocked me into the turret. He's already killed the minion wave using his Q to blow them up, and I'm now under turret, just getting messed up. His ultimate, pretty nice. Make it rain. He drops down a load of missiles in a target area, just like a sort of a big circle. And one of the cool things with it is you can actually dash out of that area. So say if you're trying to use it for escaping, you can fly up in the air and then use your ultimate. Use your ultimate to fly up, and then you can actually dash in a certain direction. So you could dash, say if they're all below you, with this game having high ground, you can actually dash and land on the high ground, and then you've got away from your opponents. Got some Howitzer gameplay maybe up after this video or before, but I do actually make some plays like that. Really cool. A fun champion to play, but a little bit immobile. That's the only sort of downside. I quite like the mobile champs like Twin Blast and Feng Mao and like Steel because they're very easy to get away from stuff. But again, with his ultimate, you can make stuff happen. Just got to be map aware, I guess. Next up, we have Twin Blast. Twin Blast, really strong champion, a popular pick. Go in on both guns blazing, as they say, and that's how he is. He's your carry, your AD carry down. It's probably like one of the main ones. I much prefer him to Sparrow, but in the same situations, it's fair they can do the same sort of thing. He does have like a small dash. I do have some Twin Blast gameplay up on my channel, which if you want to check out. Pretty cool. So with his one of his abilities, he gains attack speed. He then has another grenade, which is good for wave clear, and most importantly is his ultimate. This is where his damage really comes from. It's called Barrage. Basically, his arms are actually his guns. So when you run along the normal arms, and then when you come out to shoot, his hands actually transfer into guns. Whilst with this, like his whole sort of upper body kind of turns into a massive rocket, and you shoot. I'm not sure how many shots you shoot. It does fire quite a few shots, and if you can hit hit them on any squishy, if they're on full health, you're pretty much guaranteed to kill them. A nice play to make is if you have an enemy Gideon on the enemy team, is when he uses his ultimate, he obviously does a crazy amount of damage, but he's very vulnerable. He can't do anything, he's just stood there ultimate in. If you use your ultimate on him and you hit every shot, you're guaranteed to kill him, and most likely he's not going to make anything happen with his ulti. Again, in my compilation, or even my Twin Blast gameplay, I've got that in there, so it's really cool. I'd recommend checking out. It's a nice way to use his ultimate, probably the most effective way, to be honest. Moving on, we then have Gideon himself, moving heaven and earth for victory. Similar to Malzahar, a lot of people have been saying to me he's very similar to Malzahar, which indeed he is. He looks cool. He's probably got one of the coolest, he's like, when you press shift to run, he's probably got one of the coolest animations. He's like floating, looks badass. So he is your caster. He's probably like one of the strongest champions in the game at the moment. So you see pretty much every game everyone's going to be playing a Gideon. He has his passive, he has bonus energy penetration. Like, oh my god. Basically his Q, he chucks down all these meteors which really clear through wave. You're always going to generally see a Gideon have highest farming game at the moment, just purely because he can clear waves so quickly. Because of that, his Q does a nice amount of damage. He has a blink. Again, you know, I love mobile champions, you can blink, which is really cool. His right mouse button is sort of a charged up shot what slows the target. And his ultimate black hole is a mass like AoE sort of pull. Doesn't stun them, but it actually pulls the targets in. So if you actually catch a target right next to you, they're pretty much not running out of that, and you do a hell of a lot of damage. Again, I'm in my compilation. I've got a few kills with my black hole in that, really cool, and also some Gideon gameplay up on the channel. Really fun champion to play. Does a high amount of damage. One cool thing you can do is if you're on top of, say, one of the ledges, and you then use your blink, mid blink, if you use your ultimate, you actually do it up in the air, and it still affects the people down there, and they can't really hit you up in the air. So it's kind of a nice way to try and avoid, or make sure that you don't actually die, because he is quite vulnerable. He's very easy to focus when he's in his ultimate, but if he isn't, he will wreck you. Next up, we have Murdoch. I haven't actually, I played one game with Murdoch, and I didn't really enjoy it too much. I wasn't too sure what I was doing. I'd rather play Twin Blast. He's quite interesting. He's sort of an auto-attack damage-based champion, but his abilities, I believe, are all based off energy damage. My friend's been playing him a hell of a lot, and his ultimate's very similar to Lux's, but yeah, it has global range. One of the things, obviously, I haven't actually tried it out, but one of the harder things with his ultimate is the fact there's no free view mode on this. You're only basing it off when you can see people's HP low. But my friend's been making some amazing shots over the map. It's been absolutely crazy, called Devastating Blast. So, really strong champion. He has a shield and does some nice damage. Something I'm going to have to give a go again. I do plan on bringing out content for every champion at the moment. So, that pretty much wraps it up for all 13 champions at the moment. So, if you bosses are interested, I have some Feng Mao gameplay on my channel. Rampage. Rux will be up soon. Steel I have out. Howitzer is going to be up today. Gideon. And Twin Blast. So I'm going to work on getting the other champions out. Probably next up we'll probably give Murdoch a go. One of the last things I want to mention about is the heroes. Is the you can get challenger skins and master skins. So the challenger skin, you can, if you actually buy the founders pack, you unlock this instantly for every champion. So you just get it's just a skin change. Some of them looks cool, and some of them I don't like. Gideon's I don't think just his normal one looks better. But if you actually get to level 10, which is supposed like 100 hours worth of gameplay, but you do get an XP boost when you buy the founders pack for every champion, so I guess that might reduce it a bit. But you get the master skin. This is Steel's master skin, where he looks absolutely badass. I'm on the fence if I want to buy the founders pack. Obviously I've got the game for free at the moment because of the alpha, but I don't know, I'm going to wait to see what the shop comes out and see what kind of cool skins there are. But the thing I want to talk about is the next 2 champions to come up. Every 3 weeks they're going to release a new champions, which is good because it's kind of getting a little bit repetitive with the same champions at the moment, seeing them in every game, pretty much the same ones. But, you know, the game is an early access, and this is one of the problems, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying it. We have Gideon Scourge, I believe his name is. It'll be interesting to see how he works. He obviously looks kind of ranged. He's got some potions and that there, like throws potions in. Does look a bit squishy. And then we have Seavog. I probably said that completely wrong. He's like the Grim Reaper. I believe he's going to be a jungler. He looks like my kind of character. All the characters are free to play on this game, so once you get to level 7, I believe you unlock them all. Maybe these ones, maybe they might start introducing higher level caps. But that's how it's working at the moment. Anyway, bosses, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's coming on the champions. If there's anything more you'd like to know about the game, then drop me a comment below, and I'm more than happy to make some videos to what you bosses want to see. Take it easy. Peace.